City of Redemption Network, where we are a community of progression. WDOC 92.3 FM, where worship is necessary.
I'm gonna see it. And if you say from heaven first, I will believe it. Yes, I will believe it.
Yana 93.3 FM.
Sweet as sheep. My shepherd got me like little Bo Peep. Hear his voice and I slide when he leaves. And I've never been scary if my choice get a beat. Y'all could be the goat, sweet as sheep. My shepherd got me like little Bo Peep. I hear his voice and I slide when he leaves. And I've never been scary if my choice gets a beat.
WALR 75.5 FM.
But then you came and showed me the words to say, the prayers to pray. Give me strength to find my way. I never found such love, yeah, from somebody. I wish I could, but I can't.
WTKN Radio, playing the darn tootin' best country and bluegrass gospel music in Tennessee and Kentucky.
We shall be in the sweet by and by. Happy praise to the King.
WOKURR Radio. City of Redemption Network, where we are a community of progression.
March is celebrated as Women's History Month in the United States, Britain, and Australia, a time to honor women and recognize their impact on society throughout history. Women's History Month originally began as the annual observance of International Women's Day, falling on March 8th. It was way back in 1908 when thousands of women rallied in New York City for better working conditions and the right to vote. That gathering led to a bigger event when suffragists and women's rights groups gathered for the first International Women's Day in 1909. By 1911, women in other countries had joined the movement and began marching in honor of International Women's Day. In the United States, the observance came to the fore in the late 1970s when a feminist group in Santa Rosa, California, noticed a lack of women's achievements being taught in school curriculums. The group of women set out to change that. Their voices would eventually reach the White House. Their timing coincided with a formal worldwide recognition of International Women's Day by the United Nations in 1975. 2 years later, the World Organization deemed it an international holiday. The movement grew, leading President Jimmy Carter to establish a National Women's History Week beginning on March 8, 1980. States started to recognize and honor women throughout the whole month. By 1987, Congress had passed legislation.
Okay, that was a little history moment. But anyway, what's poppin'? What's good? What it is? What's up? Anyway, what's poppin'? It's your girl Rika Nadine, aka Period Poop. And you're tuning into yet another episode of Sipping with Nae Nae. Y'all bear with me. Y'all know I haven't been alive in a while. Y'all bear with me. I promise y'all, content is coming. Like you've seen before, City of Redemption has already launched. So what are you doing? Go to the website. I don't even remember it, but it's okay. Go to the website. It's going to be linked. But we have a super excited episode for today. I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm super excited. First, we're going to give that drop of Jesus, because why not? Why not? Anyway, Proverbs 3:3, it reads, "Never let loyalty and kindness leave you. Tie them around your neck as a reminder. Write them deep within your heart. Then you will find favor with God and people, and you will earn a good reputation." That is Proverbs 3:3-4. Okay, so I want to play this. I don't even think he knows, but he's in the back studio. I'm going to play this short video And hold on, let me decide if I want to play it. Do I want to play it after he gets on, or do I want to play before? Decisions and decisions. Let's do after. Let's do after, because I want to surprise him, because I want him to know we watching, not just me, but we watching. So my special guest that I have on today is Mr. Justin. I'm gonna pronounce the middle name wrong, so I'm gonna have him do that. Cause don't charge my heart. I tell everybody, don't charge my heart. I be trying out here. But Mr. Justin Francis from the Soar Awards, Soar Radio, Soar Assembly, Soar. He has a lot of things, Soar Records. He has a lot of things going on. So let's bring him in and let's get it popping.
What's going on? What's going on?
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for this interview, this fellowship.
Listen, thank you for the opportunity. You're live, so I feel like I'm trying to match the energy. I'm nervous about whatever this video is that you're talking about. But
yeah, let me play it before we start. Okay.
Okay.
Let's run.
The 2022 Soar Awards take place Monday, March 7th at 7 p.m. in Rockford, Illinois. Hosted by Todd Delaney, honoring Bishop William Murphy, Dorinda Clark Cole, and Pastor John Hanna. Featuring performances by Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Kiara Sheard Kelly, Jonathan McReynolds, Karen Clark Sheard, Anthony Brown, and more. Tickets can be purchased at soar.ticketlocity.com.
Honey, speechless. Let's start off right there, right where that video is.
Okay.
So, what was the, I don't know, what was the conversation? What was the vision behind the Soar Awards? Because that's how I was first introduced of you. And then, of course, I did my I did my research. You got a radio show. You got records. You're a pastor. You have a lot going on. So let's start with the awards first.
Okay, man, the awards, it was kind of, I had been doing events in my area for some time. I started doing music, writing music, and it had led to starting to do local events. And after doing local events, we started Soar Radio. And years after being monitored by BDS, it was only right to do events, from the radio. And I was like, I wanted to do a show that would bridge the gap from the major artists as well as the indie and up and coming. Because I said on last night, you see a lot of major indie, they're all separate. So I was like, how can we, bring all of them together and just create another platform? And that's really where the idea of the Soar Awards originated from.
I agree with that statement, because maybe like I would say a year ago or 2 years ago.
Okay.
First, hold on, before I go there, they were like, where this gonna be at? They want to know where it's gonna be at.
Okay, the Soar Awards. So the Soar Awards this year is going to be in Rockford, Illinois, which is an hour west of Chicago. But also we have a virtual option. So for those that, can't, because I know it's a week away, those that can't physically be here, you can purchase tickets to watch it live virtual as well.
Right there, the website right there. Go and get your tickets, period.
Yes.
But I would say like a year ago, I seen a flyer on Instagram. I think it was a sponsor.
Okay.
Like, it's official when it's sponsored. That means you're getting money. But
Okay.
anyway, I was talking to my mom and I was like, oh my goodness, like here's a platform where they're taking mainstream artists like Dorinda Clark Cole, the Clark sisters, Todd Delaney, and they're also having them on the same platform as independent artists, which I thought was truly amazing. Because like you said, mainstream does mainstream, indie does indie. I love how you bridge the gap and you have them all at one event. I love it.
Thank you. And that's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to, because there's so many talented artists, and sometimes only the commercial ones get get some of those platforms. But then you have some indie artists, like I said, that get mad and they're like, well, we just need a show. No, let's, all of us have unique gifts and callings. Why not, merge them and give them the proper, credit that they all deserve. So that it's happening. If you guys are seeing it, that means the vision's being executed.
Oh yeah, that's definitely for sure. And then you have some, like I said, You have some heavy hitters. I think that's why people are saying it. You have heavy hitters on
Yeah,
the fly, like people who sometimes people in in the media industry are like, oh, honey, don't work with her. She hard to work with. You have some heavy hitters, which I want to, big props up. Like
okay.
that's courage.
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
start there. I also know that you're an artist. Like I said, you're doing multiple things. You're a husband.
you.
You're
Yeah.
father, you're an artist, you're a pastor, you have a record label, you have a radio. I
Mhm.
want to start with the radio. What was, because I noticed everything Soar.
Uh-huh.
I love the consistency of the brand. So
Yeah.
how did Soar Radio start?
Okay. So can I go back to, you had said something I wanted to say
Yeah, you
in
can go back.
the major artists you were saying. No, we've been so fortunate to have a lot. This is year 5, and I told people, as far as the major artists, I think we've had everyone but Yolanda and Donnie. Literally everybody
Wow.
at somewhere. We honored Mary last year, and Ty Tribbett and Tamla Mann the year before. So we've been fortunate to honor some. So I'm so grateful for that. As far as the radio station started because I had been doing local events, and in doing local events, I was telling one of my friends, Chris in Mississippi, he does marketing, and I said, I wish, like a lot of events, they have it where their local radio station was to sponsor the event. And I said, I wish we were able to have that same thing. And he said, well, why don't you? And I said, well, we don't have a gospel radio station in our area. And he said, why don't you create one?
Mm,
I was like, no, I've never went to school for journalism. I don't know any
right.
of that. But I've always admired that sermon, and it was titled Do It Afraid. And that's been my ideology my whole life, is even without the answers and resources, just try it, you'll never know until you try it. So literally I called my cousin, as far as engineering, and I'm started researching, like, how are we going to do this? And before you know it, like a week later, we started Soar Radio. There were several people in the area that there was a local radio station, but some of the gospel programmers had been on there, but they had it shut down. So they were able to move their shows on. And, that was Soar Radio. That was Soar Radio. And then, like I said, a couple years into it, we had an opportunity to approach Nielsen. A lot of people know Nielsen Sounds Can, the major platform, but there were no BDS monitors, internet stations, so that were gospel. So we approached them, they were for it, and we were fortunate to become the first gospel BDS monitor. I think there's over 30 or 40.
Wow.
But that really opened doors for us on a major scale, and it led us to win some stellar awards and to have some platforms after that. But that really was the thing that took us from here to there.
Mm.
Yes,
I
sir.
do want to say I'm very, how do I say this? Because I don't want to come off like I'm judgy, but I do look at how people brand, their brands. Like imagery is everything. If
For
it
sure.
has a good look, people are going to want to see it. And I do want to say, like, the consistency of the awards, the radio, the ministry, everything is consistent. And that's what people are drawn to. That's what I'm drawn to, at least. The
Uh,
graphics from the flyers to
okay.
the different posts to the announcing the shows. That is, especially for a perfectionist like me, I'm like, yes, honey. Okay. Because you see those brands out there that be like purple on this page, and then you go to their Instagram, it's a whole nother, like, it's so
Yeah,
much going on. I'm thrown off. So I do want to mention that yet again, because branding is everything to me.
for sure. No, thank you. I'm big on branding. I think branding is, I know we say we can't judge a book by its cover, but the truth of the matter is we do. Some of us will never open the book if the packaging doesn't look right. So I believe, Eminem says you only got one shot.
Right.
So I believe we want to captivate the audience with branding. So, and like Soar, I wanted to be consistent. So that's why we have the Soar, we have the awards, we have the national record. So I wanted to be consistent, and or be the middle, why can't the nucleus, I'm sorry, of it. But yeah, no, I thank you. I work hard to make sure our brand is top notch.
Okay. But I see you. I don't know about everybody else, but I know I see you.
I,
So what is the biggest challenges that you have faced with all that's going on in Soar Ministries. I'm just gonna narrow it down to Soar Ministries.
Soar Ministries, got you. That sounds so churchy.
Right.
What have been the biggest challenges? I think, and this is going to come off so cliche, but just continuing to defy the odds. So within the infrastructure of every ministry, there's a different challenge. So when you talk about Soar Radio, there's a different challenge, whether it means, you have all these programs, but then you don't, or whether that means through Soar Awards, Soar Assembly in a pandemic, and your membership, goes from being there every day to now virtual, or the Soar Awards, you have last minute stuff where you have artists that aren't able to, be present, be traveling or different things. So I think each ministry, each entity presents its own beast of things, but it's just navigating. And I'm big on looking at the positive in every situation. I believe that God orchestrates things well, and sometimes, though you don't understand why it's happening, there's depth to it. So I think just going to continue just with withstanding the race. So often it's easy to give up or say, okay, this is not happening. But I think the patience and the elevation and the evolution of it all has been challenged. But I'd like to say we continue to defy the challenges and just keep pushing.
I like what you said about basically trusting the process and encouraging me, because I have a lot going on. This ain't about me, but I have a lot going on, and you're encouraging me to keep pushing, keep plowing, and keep positive, because I'm not even gonna preach. This ain't about me. My next question is, out of all the things you do, if you had to put one of those down, which one would it be and why?
Wow.
Put down father or husband. So
yeah, no, that's non-negotiable. I'm that right. That's so hard, because I love what I do. I love passion. I love, and I took a break from writing. That's actually how I thought that was going to be my meal ticket, from writing. So I enjoy writing, and I miss writing. I don't know. That's hard. I love what I do. I would have to say, and I interview people, and I hate when people don't answer the question, but I don't have one that I could put down. I really enjoy thoroughly everything that I do. I enjoy everything that I do. So I don't think I would put any of those down.
Okay, here's another hard question, since we're doing. Okay, out of all the artists that you've met with and worked with, who do you deem is someone that is one way on social media and in person the opposite way? I need the tea.
So y'all know I'm not gonna answer that. I'm not gonna. I don't know if plead the fifth is an option. I won't answer
you can
that.
Plead the fifth.
But what I will say though, in that is, I think we have to give people grace. I think artists are people too, and you just never know what kind of day they're having. So some people, and I mean, just be full transparent. I've seen some people that just ain't nice. I don't know their personal life, so I can't say they're fake. But I know there's been some people I've encountered that just aren't necessarily nice, or they're more stand.
Okay, let me ask the question a different way. So, out of mainstream and independent, which one was easier to work with? We'll spin it off like that.
Well, it's all case by case. Most people would just assume the mainstream is most difficult. There's some really nice earth mainstream artists. So, but then you got some independent artists that I'm like, your grandness is up here, but your resume is here. Right. So I'm like, something's gotta meet in the middle. So it's a case by case basis. I can't just rule it, but I'm the type of person, I'm gonna look at the best and the positive in everything. So that one.
So what advice would you give to somebody who is thinking about, getting into radio or getting into award shows? Because this industry is not for the weak. That's for sure.
Man, I Donald Lawrence told me this, and I'll never forget this. He said, just because something worked out, or I'm sorry, just because, so I'll never forget, I had reached out to him years ago about connecting me with a particular artist. And matter of fact, I don't know if he remembers this. I asked him to connect me to an artist, and he was like, reach out to them the same way that you reached out to other people. And I was like, okay. And at first I was kind of like, dude, this is somebody you can connect me with. But then he said at the same time, he also gave me another nugget and said, just because somebody worked out for me does not mean that it will work out for you, and vice versa. He said, I'm very careful when people ask me for advice by just, because, we can have mentors and we can have people and we can literally make a guide out of them, or take their journey and make ours. But what he said is, there are some people that I've tried to connect with that it just didn't work out for me, that it may for you. So I say all say to answer the question, you got to work your own gift, your own calling. You've got to be willing to invest in yourself. I tell people all the time, if you want me to sow into you, you've got to match me with your seed. So not just money, but your time, and be willing to stick with it. Be willing to stick with it. You're going to go through some seasons, some ups, but you're going to go with some downs. But and the last thing I would say is, I'm big in creating the thing that you don't see. So, nobody was calling me for an award shows, so I created my own. Nobody was calling me to be on their radio station, so I started my own. So you got to stop waiting for people to build the bridge that you build yourself. Who's somebody?
Said, who is someone you admire that you haven't had the pleasure to interview, or me? I'm gonna add that as well.
Okay. I love Kurt Franklin. I think Kurt Franklin is a genius. I met him one time in passing at, I think, backstage at the Stellars, but I've never got to talk to him. I don't know if he knows about Soar or anything, but I would love to sit down and talk to Kurt Franklin. So that would be somebody.
Kurt Franklin, honey.
Yes.
So, can you tell us more about your show? It's called the JD Morning Show. So, do you really be up in the morning, like recording and live?
Yeah, y'all. I'm actually a morning person. I'm actually up every morning at 4:30 going to the gym. So I'm up every morning. I do that. That's my time. That's my workout time. But I'm up. It's on Wednesdays. And it's tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. So I'm there. We talk about practical topics. We give some inspirational nuggets. We interview some artists, different things. But we also use that as a platform to discuss what they call hot topics. So, from everything, like probably tomorrow we'll discuss, the war, stuff. We'll obviously, with the wars being next week, we'll probably speak on that heavy. But we'll also discuss, whatever's going on in the world. So we pretty much touch on all of those things.
So that's where you can go and get the tea, period. Especially if you're a morning person. Because I know I'm not. I'm not a morning person at all. Will I get up? Sure. Yeah. Do I like it? No. But for you to willingly get up, like, okay, let's go to the gym. That's...
Yeah. I think it's discipline. I do a lot. So the gym really helps discipline me, period, mentally, spiritually. It just brings me full circle. So I need that time.
Man, truthfully, Justin Francis has been amazing to work with. He has been extremely kind and very helpful to know. Now he has all this going on too.
Oh, wow.
One of a kind. Wow.
I think this is Paul. He's one actually our artist that's one of our independent artists that's going to be hitting the main stages this year. So
wow. I'm excited.
I don't take that lightly.
I'm excited. So Christ said, do you offer or would you be interested in a mentorship program?
I've been approached about that before. I feel like I still have so much more to do. So I'm honored that somebody would even consider me to. But I'm open. I believe there's so many people that have given me a chance that I don't see So I always believe in telling everybody what I know, and I know God will give it back. So I would love to. I'd have to make sure that my commitment is able to match up to my passion, because I just have so many ducks right now in a row. But I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. I'm crazy that people even would want me to. So yeah.
Because you're inspiring people. So they want you to touch the lives of our young ones as well.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I got some more work to do, but uh,
Right. Most people, when they say mentorship, like they mad old. Like, I know what you mean.
yeah, I'm only 33, so
Mhm.
you know,
Right. You got a lot of life to live. I feel you. I understand.
yes.
So my next question
Uh-huh.
is, and this one you may answer, you may not.
Okay.
But I think it's important because especially with doing media, doing awards, also being an artist,
Okay.
how do you keep yourself relevant in an industry that's ever so growing?
Mm. I don't mind answering it at all. I just have to think that through. How do you
Okay.
keep yourself relevant? You know, one to it. Hope this answers it. Is living day to day.
Mm,
I do have to. I mean, I don't want to say I follow the trends, but I keep my ears and my eyes open to what's happening. So
mm,
that way I'm aware of what's happening. But at the same time, uh, I know what God has placed inside of me at this season. So I try to stay to that. But social media is the most relevant. I try to make sure. And one thing that I'll tell you exclusively that I'm gonna be more cognizant of this year is making sure we build content,
mm.
this year. And I don't want to give too much exclusive, or I guess it's tea, as you
Yes, we need the tea.
this show is packed with surprises. It's packed with, so many things. So I want to make sure that I get some behind the scenes
Mm,
footage this year, so then it can, stretch. So I try to stay up on social media and stay up on those things as much as I can.
mm. And we have a question.
Okay.
Do you think it's possible to achieve a level of success, happiness that you seek in your lifetime? That's a good question.
So, okay, do you think it's possible to achieve the level of success you seek? So they're asking like where I want to go at my highest. Do I think I'll be able to achieve it in my life?
Mhm.
Um, Definitely. I pray. I really hope that I do. I feel like I'm already receiving, and I always find myself, because I'm hard on myself. Even now, I'm living the life that I prayed for. Like,
Mhm.
not that I've arrived to fully where I want to be,
Mhm.
but I'm a lot of the things that I manifested or wanted to happen, I'm living the manifestation of it now. So I absolutely believe I'm a go-getter. Uh, you know, there was there was something that someone told me this year would not happen in this show. And
Mm,
I cannot wait until everybody sees it the night of the show, because it's probably going to be one of the biggest things that's ever happened on the Soar stage.
mm,
Um, but I was like, I wasn't going to stop until I let it happen, and it did. So I believe in everything that I do. I'm going to keep climbing until I see it. So I absolutely believe Justin Dewan Francis is going to see everything that I want to see while I'm living.
Okay, so it's Djuane. I'm gonna have to
It's the
remember that. Djuane.
Yes,
That's fancy. I like it.
it's Dewan. Thank you. Yes, yes.
So how do you deal with the stress of running a business or
Okay.
businesses, being a father, being a husband? How do you fulfill all these people's needs?
Man, day by day, if I'm 100% transparent, I don't know that I do them all well. You would have to interview
Mhm.
my wife and my children, I guess.
We'll get
And
them on. We'll get
about
them on. We'll
service,
get the tea.
I'm right in the house. But yeah, I I just I try to balance. One thing that I'm big on is trying to be home as much as possible. So even
Mm,
like the technology of Zoom. So like I'm still home.
mm,
So even though, I'm doing this interview and I have a couple more later, I'm still home. My kids see me. We ate together. And I may be working on my phone or working on the computer, but we're still there. So I try to, and then I do try to, I don't always succeed at it, but like with my wife, I try to set aside whether that's us watching Netflix, and it usually ends up watching us at the end of the night or whatever. But I try to be strategic about that time. I don't always succeed at just being honest, but I'm trying manage my time better. But living day by day, I used to always do it where I plan so far in advance. Now I'm literally taking it one step at a time.
I love the transparency because some people come on here and be like, you know, well, God, he helps me.
Nah,
Let's be real. Like, yes, we know, we're Christians, so we know God got you. But let's be real. Let's be transparent, bro.
Come on,
I love the transparency.
Yeah, no, this is who I am. I said I'm the most probably non-traditional pastor, but hey, this is just who I am.
Okay, so who are 3 people who have been most influential to you and your businesses?
Oh, 3 people. Wow. I really don't know. I mean, I don't know. I know how that comes across. I don't want to make it seem as if there's no one that's been influential. But I really just I don't know. I mean, Kurt, it goes back to Kurt. I love what Kurt does for the whole body of music. I don't study her, but I do like people like Kathy Hughes, who owns Radio One, and she owns also TV One. So I like, entities like that. But I can't say that it's like some people that's been more influential, in what I do. I don't know that I really have had anyone like that. I don't know if that's good.
Well, in businesses, you're on your wait, what? Okay, in businesses, you're on you deal with many people on different levels and their issues. Is it a challenge for you to not take those issues home with you? Oh, that's actually a really good question.
Okay, so they're asking when I'm dealing with different people, how do I accept? I'm good at separating things. One thing, I'm a root person. So somebody comes at me, they yell, they cuss, but I see the root of why they're doing it. I chemical imbalance. I see the tiredness. I see the hurt. I see the frustration. So while some people look, how the Bible says, look on the exterior, but God looks on the inside. So, some people are looking at the person. I'm looking at the spirit of the person. So oftentimes things that would offend other people or that would set them off or would frustrate them really doesn't bother me because I know the fruit of who they are, their intentions. So, I take things for face value. I don't really get offended. I don't really get bothered. So it's easy for me to not take things home. I sleep well.
Period.
Yeah.
So, how would you? Okay, how do I want to word this?
Okay.
How would you feel? The people that you work with.
Okay.
How would you? Wait, how do I want to put this? Oh my goodness. Okay, basically, I want to know. Based off your different experiences, based off your different businesses and the people that are working around you, would they say that you're a good communicator? Would they say that you're very, you know how to communicate well?
I would like to say so. Somebody told me the other day that I'm very nice but stern. Or not stern, no, but straightforward. They just told me today. They're like, you're the most straightforward pastor I know. So like I will smile, very nice, but you'll know what I mean. Very tactful. So I would like to say I'm a good communicator. I would like to think so. Yeah. I'm very what's the word? Like I'm not like I'm observant. I'm kind of quiet. I'm not one that's going to necessarily talk a whole lot in a setting. But I think I'm good at communication sometimes, but I'm not the best at confrontation. I don't like conflict. So there are sometimes a growth area of mine is to continue to, if something's not good or maybe if a situation is not the best, to make sure I communicate, hey, we need to work on this. So I could probably be better in that. But overall, I think I'm a pretty good communicator.
Okay.
They may disagree, but I think so.
What are some things people seem to misunderstand about you?
I think sometimes people think that I don't know what's going on because I'm very, like I said, I'm quiet. I don't address everything. So I think some people would misunderstand that my quietness or maybe that I'm more naive,
Hmm.
than I really am. But I just know the Bible says in Ecclesiastics 3, there's a time to speak, there's a time to be quiet. So I know when it's a time, but I'm always up on game.
Mm. That's how my dad is. Like,
Yeah.
we think that he's very passive, that
Yeah.
he'll just sit back in a room and he'll let y'all talk. He'll let y'all go ham.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, he'll come to my mom, well, I didn't really agree with what this person said.
Yeah.
It's just like, you were paying attention. So I know what type of person that
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for answering all my crazy questions. Thank you for dealing with my big personality.
No.
Thank you for the opportunity to sit down and to talk to you. You make sure everybody that's watching right now and they'll be watching the replay, make sure you go get your tickets. How many days are we away?
So thank you once again. Let me say thank you for having me. Thank you for having a fun interview. I get interviewed all the time. Sometimes I interview, and it's nothing worse than the same questions. So I
I
kind
know
of
the
dig
feeling.
deeper. We're 4 days away. Like you said, Todd Delaney's hosting it. Tasha Cobbs Leonard's taking the stage. Karen Clark Sheard, Kiara Sheard, Jonathan McReynolds, Crystal Rucker, Anthony Brown, and we're honoring Pastor John Hanna, Bishop William Murphy, and Dorinda Clark Cole. And there are some surprise major artists that are not there, that are not on the flyer. One that is one of the biggest selling gospel artists of all time. I'll just put that out there. That will be present, and so many more are coming in just to show the love to some of the honorees, some to sing, some to just present. Yeah, I'm so excited. But yes, 4 days, they can get tickets. Like I said, if you're not in the Chicagoland area and you can't physically be here, you can experience it just like now, right from your house next Monday, March 7th. All you have to do is go to soar.ticketlossy.com. $20 for a virtual ticket. You can't beat that.
Come on. That is a steal.
Yeah.
For real. I had a question. Oh, how many categories do you have at the awards? That's what I wanted to ask you.
So we do our award show very different. Our award show is based off honoring people. So what we do,
vote.
There's no voting.
Okay,
And
I like that.
the first year, I actually didn't do the most played art song of the year. But so we have like the Pastor John Hanna's getting the Luminary Award. Then we have Dr. Dorinda Clark Cole that's getting the Legend Award. Then you have Bishop Murphy that's getting the Industry Impact. So we do honorees, and then the music artists sing tributes to them, and we have video tributes and different things. So it's not like best male artist, song of the year. There's already enough award shows that do that well. So I want to use the platform to honor, as well as we have independent artists, but to honor and salute those that have done so much to gospel. And then this year we decided to do, for the first time ever, we're honoring Deborah Snoopy Hanna and Steph Wilkinson, which some people are like, I don't know their names, but they're two major executives that some people, from Travis Green to Jonathan McReynolds to Mary to Israel to William McDowell, would not have a career had it have not been for those two. So we're saluting some industry heavyweights this year. So that's a first.
Well, after talking to you, I'm very excited. For the Soar Awards, I've been wanting to go for such a long time. Y'all need to come to Atlanta. Y'all need to do a tour. Y'all need to come to Atlanta.
So you're in Atlanta. Okay, so
no, I'm in Nashville area. But if it was in Atlanta, I could. To be honest, it's not that far from me.
No. So what we're doing is, and I kind of announced it a couple months ago, and I'll talk more, but this is actually we've been here this is our 5th year, but we're moving it. Next year, we're actually going to Chicago, which is the major, the city, one of the outskirts, but we're going to Chicago. But then the following year, 2024, we're actually going to be in Atlanta.
Okay.
So we're going to be traveling this thing around, and we're going to DC, and we're going to make our rounds. But our plan is to every year. Our plan is to every year travel after this. So hopefully we make it. Or I think we're in Nashville one year. I don't know. I know we made a 5-year calendar, but we're going to be in Atlanta soon.
So how have you dealt with the COVID restrictions in the award show?
Well, last year it's crazy. So 2022, it was nothing but God. We did the show in March. That's when we honored Ty and Mary. And literally that Friday, the country is shut down. Nothing was shut down. But that Thursday and Friday, everything started shutting down. And we were going to do last year's show. We had to cancel that because of COVID. But with this year, our governor just lifted the mask mandate here a couple of days ago. We're still optional. We're still going to have masks that we're encouraging. They're going to be at the door. We're also still going to have sanitizing station. And, we normally have X amount of seats in the place and we go to capacity. We got about 500 seats in our venue so that we could space, the seats out. Took a financial, hit, but we wanted to space it out so that people would feel more comfortable and that they weren't all sitting on top of each other. We got rid of like seat fillers, just different things like that to make it to where, people kind of felt comfortable. And the biggest thing is we presented a virtual option. So I know there's a demographic of people that always support it. That's just like Justin. We just don't, feel comfortable in the crowds, and I understand it. So they're going to do the virtual.
Okay. I love the different options. That's for sure. You have VIP, which are sold out. Backstage, which are sold out. The only thing because I went to the website, I was like, honey, let me see what's going on. Let me get
general and virtual.
General admissions is the only one in virtual.
Yeah.
We're the only ones.
Yeah.
That's God. I know that's God.
Man, this has been the hardest year because of COVID. Like, this has been the hardest year because of COVID. But God, when I tell you, all the way up until today, like, I'm just gonna be honest, it's been a push this year, but God has shown himself faithful. These last 2 weeks, it's been a major increase. He's so good.
Well, like I said, I want to thank you so much for coming on my platform and
thank you for
chatting with me. I speak nothing but blessings to your ministry, to your family, to your award show, to your radio, to your different businesses, and also the lives that you touch as well. I speak nothing but blessings, miracle signs, and wonders.
Yeah. Praise God. Thank you for having me so much.
No problem. So until next time, like I said, his social media is scrolling at the bottom. Go follow him on social media, period, because why not? Get connected. It's about networking. This industry is about if you know somebody that knows somebody. So get connected. It's a small industry, so don't burn no bridges either. Also, get your tickets, virtual and general admissions at the website that's listed below. Honey, I don't even know what else to say. But honey, until next time, we love you guys.